And welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam. You know, this show's been on the air for close to 23 years. In that span of time, there's been one time that it went longer than a half hour. It was a 1 hour show, and it was back probably 10, 12 years ago when two candidates were running for U.S. House of Representatives, and the two of them came on, and they allowed us from WSFA to keep the show on an hour. One of them was Jay Love. The other one was our good buddy, Bobby Bright, who wound up winning that race. But you remember back then?
I certainly
We had an hour long because, you know, what we did is we brought everybody in and he said, look, sometimes the commercial says, this guy's a rotten son of a gun, this one says this. But the two of you were there, and it was wonderful.
Absolutely.
It was great.
I remember it well, and I want to see another one of those shows, too.
Okay.
In the near future.
Absolutely.
We would love it.
Yes.
Well, you are running for United States Congressman.
I am.
And I'm going to ask you, okay, this time you are running as a Republican.
I
So
am.
everybody's going to want to know.
Sure.
And basically, you've kind of been a Republican all along, I think. But what made you decide to actually do this, Bobby?
I've got an unfinished job out there, and somebody with a strong leadership ability has to be able to take this position and run with it for the people of Alabama, but not only for the people of Alabama, but for our country as a whole. Our country is in a mess right now.
It is.
And we've got to send some people to Washington who have the experience, who have the strength and the maturity to correct the problems up there. And I've been sitting back, I've been on my farm, working the cows. I've got a cattle farm, turned a somewhat small farm into a really successful cattle operation, agribusiness operation in Elmore County. And I've been watching and listening to see someone step forth and say, you know what, enough's enough. I'm tired of this party label, these party labels.
Yes.
I want to put America first. And Donald Trump did that, quite frankly. You may not like some of the things he's doing, but what he said up front was America first from this point on. And you know what? That's my language.
And that's the way it needs to be.
You're right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because we're sitting at a point where it seems like everything in Washington is at an impasse.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking about, well, what's this going to be for my party, rather than saying, what's going to be for the good of the people? You're a representative. You're representing not the party, but the people.
And not the individual who we send up there.
Right.
You know, this is not a popularity contest when you go to Washington, D.C. This is hard work and it's dedication. And you've got to love what you do, but more important than anything else, you've got to represent the vast majority of the people back in your district. That's not happening. We're sending people up there who want to get ahead in life, who want to have influence, who want to have an opportunity to make things happen for themselves individually. That's not the purpose behind a representative. Think about it. The word representative means not what Bobby Bright or Jack Galassini or Virginia Whitfield wants. It's what the people need, the vast majority. Now there are segments and minorities in our district that when I go there, I represent the majority, and they have to understand that. And eventually we'll try to help every way we possibly can. But you represent the majority of the people, and you're their voice. You're not the Bobby Bright voice up there. You're the voice of the people.
What are a couple of the things that you would most like to see moving forward, as far as if you go in as our representative for the state of Alabama in particular?
Industry, pave the way, take off the restrictive regulations that are on our businesses right now. I was on the Small Business Committee when I was up there, along with the Armed Services and the Agriculture Committees. I was given 3 committees when I went up there. Normally you only get 2, but because I wanted to work and represent the people to the max up there, I took 3 committees. And if you do it right, you can help relieve the atmosphere, the restrictions, and create an atmosphere where businesses will want to come to your particular area. But that's what I want to do mainly, is create jobs. I want to create a tremendous national defense. Trump is already trying to do that. President Trump is trying to do that, and he is doing a wonderful job as far as the national defense is concerned, and I want to go up there and help that as much as I possibly can. But, you know, we also have to realize, too, and this is what I had to go through. I went through a real strenuous, detailed, interrogating session this past Saturday with the head of the Republican Party because I had been, as you said,
Right.
Virginia, a Democrat. I went through a number of very pointed questions, and I answered those questions fully. And I got an overwhelming vote from the Democratic leadership to run on the ticket as a Republican. And I really appreciate that. I was always skeptical of that process because it's politics involved. I didn't think I was going to get a fair hearing, but I got a fair hearing. And the votes that they were concerned about that I took when I was in Washington, I explained them away to their satisfaction and got an overwhelming vote of confidence to stay on the ticket and to hopefully, as I walked out, many of them were shaking my hand and telling me, you go get them. You go up there and do what you know how to do. And that's another thing about me. I'm not coming from outside or right field or left field. I've been there.
Well,
I know where some of the stones are hidden,
Right.
and I will go up there and
you've run the city as a mayor.
Sure, 10 years.
Which is admirable. So you have that experience behind you. Then you've been in the position also.
Practiced law 16 years, and I've been in the position 2 years. It's like I'm coming home. I've had several people indicate that they're so proud to see me back in the arena because when I was mayor, I didn't play party labels. I didn't play party politics. I worked across the state line. I worked across the party lines.
You did.
And if somebody came into my office and said, Mayor, we've got this agenda, I always looked to see what the purpose of it was. And if it was for the entire city of Montgomery, we worked on it, and I helped them every way I possibly could. I didn't look at it from a Democrat or a Republican standpoint. And I told the Republican Steering Committee Saturday that last week, that if they think that I'm going to go and toe the rope for the party, don't leave me on that ballot, take me off. I said, because if given the opportunity, I'm going to put the people of Alabama, the people of District 2 first.
Put the people first, not the party
Absolutely.
first.
Thank you so much. Best of
Thank
luck, and
y'all.
maybe we'll
Thank
get an
y'all.
hour. Maybe we'll get an hour long out of one of these things. We'll look and
I
see.
hope so.
But just remember this: do your homework, check on the candidates, make sure you know exactly how they feel about the things that you believe in, and then vote smartly. And we'll be right back right after this.